and welcome to BW TV. Today we are here at 8th edition of IHA BW Hoteliers Indian Hospitality Summit and Awards. Thank you, Dr. Jain, for joining us. In your viewpoint, tell us what is the current state of India's hospitality sector, and also if you can pinpoint what are some of the major trends you foresee that will majorly shape the industry in next 5 years.
Thank you for including me. If I have to summarize India, I would use a statement. India is going to be the global hub for human talent. That's the key differentiation for India. Nowhere in the world you would find talent of this quality. Now, how do you deploy that talent? And our competitive advantage in the world, of course, starts with education. But any industry where service matters, this is India's competitive advantage. Hospitality, travel, I am a big believer in not only the hotel industry, but the airlines industry. And I always tell people that you should be passionate about two industries that I am very passionate about. One is healthcare and other is travel and tourism. Because for you to remain healthy, you need to be engaged. And that engagement comes when you travel, you meet people. You meet people for an hour in the bus, but then you remain friends forever. So India has this competitive advantage today. It's old civilization. There are so much to see in this country. And I tell you what one speaker told today, domestic tourism is more important than just getting international tourists to come here. We need to make tourism more affordable for our people. The second advantage that we have is not to give up education. I mentioned this statement today that Saraswati dominates Lakshmi in India. Our competitive advantage would not come through just wealth. It would come through good education. The word I use, sanskars, the genes, the DNA, the values. And that's what would make Indians shine.
Very well said, very well put. You mentioned about India's talent. In your address also, you talked about this being a competitive edge for India, right? Though we are listening to all the industry leaders since morning, everybody is stressing on infrastructure, the buildings, the hotels, the industry expansion, but you stressed upon the soft power of India. Elaborate on this a little more, and also tell us what beyond talent, if I kind of push you, beyond talent, what other stakeholders can do?
Very, very good question. You have a hotel with 150 rooms. Somebody can also make another hotel with 150 better rooms. But the differentiation is not on the rooms. How you treat people the moment he or she walks in the hotel. This personal touch is what we are very good. अतिथि घर में आते हैं, we consider them as a manifestation of God. We need to have that mindset to treat people with respect. That I think is only other country where I have seen that is Thailand. The Thai's hospitality is a step above us, not below. मैं वहाँ काम किया. Now, as you said, what other things we need besides education? We also need to get hands on some skills. So I tell children, any parent, if you have a newborn baby, make sure you do 3 things for sure. First, teach the baby how to swim. Swimming. Swimming is one thing that can keep you young forever. You don't need any other exercise. You just swim, you feel fresh. Second, teach them one musical instrument. Koi bhi. My daughter, she plays flute, bansuri. And third is communication. Because public speaking is very important. Because that's how people get to know you. your speaking speaks about you more than what you talk about. So we as Indians, we need to be slightly more open, outgoing. Otherwise, वो शर्म करके and being inward is not going to make us as global. Though we may have the capabilities, but you need to demonstrate that. And that is where I think communication makes a very big scale.
I mean, surprisingly, these three things are, I mean, something that have been already been in my mind, but I haven't been able to do it. But yeah, now it's in my to-do. Just before my final question, tell me, when we talk about stakeholders doing different work at different scale, what do you expect from government to, and how do you expect government to come in and play its role? I know that government have been pretty bullish on hospitality and travel tourism sector, but what more needs to be done?
See, the role of the government should be to facilitate and give slightly more, what I would say, make the surface smooth. Sometimes what happens is that you get more restrictions, and those restrictions can make you, quote unquote, less interested or less enthusiastic. So government's role should be to enhance flexibility. I am very much in favor of government so that we are all within a framework.
Correct.
We don't want to have a slippery slope to slip, but at the same time not to be too rigid. The only rigid rule in life I follow is be flexible. That's the only
Wonderfully put. Wonderfully put. That's the final bit of it. In coming January, BW Hotelier completes its decade being in the industry. I want your comments on how do you look at the role of such a community where it brings in all the stakeholders together to have all these conversations. What do you think?
See, my thing is, there is no substitute to teamwork. Make it an India project, not a company project. We all work together to make sure that Bharat Mata ki duniya mein jai ho. And the more we work together, the better it would be for each one of us. And I have always believed that when people work, they are trained to look for differences. Oh, ye aisa hai, ye. I tell people, look for similarities. हम में common क्या चीज़ है, and how we can enhance that commonality to make India a shining star.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jain. It has been a pleasure and an honor to talk to you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.